Xanthe, her brow furrowed in concentration, peered through the telescope, her mind a whirlwind of numbers and equations. Gravitational waves, elusive ripples in the fabric of space-time, were her obsession. Her life, for years, was dedicated to capturing their faint whispers, an almost religious devotion to the universe's symphony. A jarringly discordant note, played on a violin, broke her concentration. She whirled around to find a young man, his fingers dancing on the strings with passionate abandon, his eyes fixed on the starlit sky. He saw her stare, and a smile touched his lips, a spark of amusement in his hazel eyes. "Hello," he said, bowing slightly. "Rhys, at your service." "And you are?" "Xanthe," she replied curtly, turning back to her telescope. "This is a research facility, not a concert hall. Please keep your music down." Rhys, undeterred, placed the violin under his chin. "This, my dear Xanthe, is more than music. It's a conversation with the universe." He tilted his chin towards the sky. "Hear its song? I'm just trying to write it down." Rhys spent the next few days, undeterred by her disdain, filling the observatory with his music. His melodies were intricate, vibrant, echoing the chaotic yet rhythmic beauty of the cosmos. Yet Xanthe saw only distraction. "Don't you understand?" she demanded one evening, as Rhys finished a particularly poignant melody. "The universe speaks in numbers, in equations, in patterns that are beautiful in their very precision. Your emotions are meaningless to it." Rhys placed his violin on the table, his face serious. "And the numbers, they speak nothing of longing, of hope, of fear. What good is a map without a soul, Xanthe? It's the feelings that bring the stars to life." Xanthe, caught off guard by the vulnerability in his voice, averted her eyes. The quiet, echoing silence was filled with tension, the silence of a bridge between two worlds, the logical, cold realm of science and the emotional, passionate domain of art. That night, while the world outside slept, the observatory echoed with the whispers of the universe. Xanthe was mesmerized by the rhythmic blips on her monitor, the signature of gravitational waves. It was a breakthrough she'd been chasing for years. She looked around for her instruments, but found them missing. Suddenly, the violin's delicate melody started again, flowing from a separate room. It was a lament, filled with aching loneliness and longing, resonating strangely with her own loneliness. When the music faded, she found Rhys, slumped against the window, tears streaking down his face. "You were looking at the stars," he said, voice ragged. "Do they know they cause these things? The yearning, the despair, the beauty?" He looked at her with desperate intensity. "I've been trying to capture those echoes in my music, but I'm not sure I understand them." "Perhaps we both need to listen a little more closely," she said softly. His eyes were filled with a familiar despair, yet something in them had shifted, revealing a depth that surprised her. Rhys decided to leave the observatory. "I have a concert," he told her, "and I have to find out if these notes, this music, they mean anything at all." Xanthe felt a twinge of sadness, a strange pang she couldn't quite understand. His departure had created a gaping silence, one she hadn't noticed before. He came back with an orchestra in tow. Standing at the edge of the crowded hall, she watched as Rhys played, his movements conveying the entire emotional spectrum. His music painted stories in the air, stories of love, sorrow, longing, and acceptance. He told tales of celestial bodies colliding, of stars collapsing, of a universe where music was a universal language. Xanthe realized her emotions weren't a contradiction to logic. They were its beautiful counterpart, its emotional echo. They intertwined, creating a universe more vibrant and captivating than she had ever imagined. Rhys arrived the next morning, the energy of the concert lingering in his aura. "It was amazing," Xanthe exclaimed, surprising herself, with a genuine emotion in her voice. "It's like the notes were a mirror to your discovery." Rhys looked at her with an intensity that had her heart thrumming in her chest. "That's it, I understand now," he said, taking out his violin. "You and I, we're like two sides of the same coin, science and art. You are my muse." He began to play, a haunting, soulful melody. But it wasn't a mere reflection of her research. It incorporated the rhythm of the gravitational waves, a harmonious blend of reason and passion. They spent days together, him composing, her analyzing the intricate symphony that the universe was creating with their collaboration. In each other, they found the perfect counterpoint to their existence, their souls resonating with a breathtaking beauty. Rhys was finishing his symphony under a sky studded with 1,000 stars. Xanthe sat beside him, listening as his fingers danced on the violin, creating a breathtaking tapestry of emotions. The music flowed, capturing the very essence of the universe's rhythm, her heart beating in time with it. As the last note faded, a hush fell over the observatory, broken only by the whisper of wind. Rhys turned to her, his gaze intense, mirroring the starry night. "Xanthe," he breathed, his voice filled with the awe of the universe. "My love for you. It's like these stars, an unyielding constant that binds us." He stepped closer, his eyes reflecting the brilliance of 1,000,000 celestial bodies. In the silence, she confessed her own feelings, the hidden longing that bloomed into a full-fledged symphony in the presence of his art. They met in the middle, two souls converging in a cosmic ballet of love, a dance as old as time, as timeless as the stars themselves. The symphony Rhys had composed resonated across the globe. It became an anthem, a reminder that even amidst the cold calculations of science, emotions and beauty prevailed. But the recognition that brought him global acclaim also meant departure. "The symphony is finished," he said to Xanthe, a heavy heart settling in his chest. "The world needs to hear its voice, and I will miss its composer," she murmured, the observatory feeling colder, lonelier without him. As he prepared to leave, they stood beneath the star-dusted night sky. "Xanthe," Rhys whispered, "you made me see the music in the universe. Now I must show the world what you have shown me." "And you," she said, her voice barely above a whisper, "you made me hear the universe in the music." Their farewell was filled with an unspoken understanding that even miles apart, their bond was an unbreakable cord, vibrating with love and the echoes of the cosmos. Xanthe felt the absence like a gap in her equations. Rhys's music was everywhere, reminding her of their intertwined lives. He called often, his voice like a melody, painting a picture of his world filled with concerts, applause, and a new symphony being born. It wasn't long before Xanthe's own research received a much-needed push forward. The knowledge they shared, their collaboration, had unlocked a secret in her calculations. The gravitational wave data started making sense, revealing patterns she'd missed before. "It was the music," she whispered, looking at the intricate graphs on her computer screen. "The way Rhys used music to interpret your discoveries." She realized Rhys hadn't just shown her a new language, he'd provided the key to understanding her own. She felt her heart swell with pride, the echoes of Rhys's symphony resonating within her. Their love was a symphony playing out on the canvas of the universe. Rhys returned after months, a star in his own right. Xanthe, now a leading astrophysicist, met him at the observatory. They gazed at the starlit sky, the universe shimmering before them, their love a constant rhythm echoing across time and space. "I am going to tour the world," Rhys announced, his eyes filled with excitement. "But this time, it won't be alone." Xanthe nodded, understanding the subtle message in his voice. He was no longer the impulsive young man she'd met. He'd learned the universal language of love, of the profound balance between reason and passion. They would walk side by side, sharing their individual triumphs and discoveries, creating a new cosmic harmony. And as they looked at the stars, both knew the universe was not a chaotic mess of chance, but a breathtakingly beautiful symphony of two hearts beating in perfect unison, a love story whispered through the galaxies. A hush fell over the crowd as Rhys walked towards the microphone, the vast expanse of the concert hall illuminated by starlight. In front of him, Xanthe waited, the symbol of their union, a golden ring adorned with a tiny star, glistening in the light. The melody began to flow, his latest composition, an intricate tapestry of emotions, woven with the scientific marvels he had learned from Xanthe. As the music reached its crescendo, Xanthe looked at him, her heart mirroring the rhythm of the universe. Their love story, born in the quiet whispers of the cosmos, resonated with the symphony that played out in front of a stunned audience, an echoing testimony that the beauty of the universe was truly in the merging of hearts, in the harmonious embrace of two souls.